and welcome to Adventures in TV Land. Today we are in New York State, and I know if you've been watching the previous series of videos, I had not been intending to do a video today. However, I'm going through a cemetery. I'm going through a cemetery tour of seeing the final resting place and graves of some famous Americans. And even though I will be filming videos about these things later on, well, making a video about each of these places and these people later on, I figured, why not? We'll do a video on the way and seeing these different places. In addition, we may be making one or two other stops along the way, so it's just kind of a road trip through the Finger Lakes region of New York and a few other things. So, let's go and get things started. Our first stop for the day is here at Fort Hill Cemetery in Auburn, New York. And here is the grave of Harriet Tubman. All right, we are at the grave of William Seward. He could have been president of the United States, but he did not receive the Republican nomination. He was defeated in that by Abraham Lincoln. He served the Lincoln administration faithfully, as well as the Johnson administration. He purchased Alaska. He's buried next to his wife, Frances. She died. Note the date she died. William Seward was attacked on the same night that Lincoln was shot. He was stabbed several times. His wife, she passed out from shock, and she never did recover. She passed away. William Seward, probably one of the greatest secretaries of state in United States history. We have now stopped off at Lakeview Cemetery in Interlaken, New York, to see the final resting place of one of the great TV creators, an amazing storyteller, Rod Serling, creator of The Twilight Zone. We are here at the grave of Rod Serling, the creator of The Twilight Zone. A great writer, a great storyteller, a great just on-air personality.
In 1 mile.
All right, we are in Woodlawn Cemetery here in Elmira, New York, to see the grave of Mark Twain. And here is the final resting place of Samuel Langhorne Clemens, aka Mark Twain, the writer who I share a birth date with. Now, other than Mark Twain, there are some other famous people here buried in the cemetery. But just the one other grave I'm going to check out is that of a famous movie maker, Hal Roach. And here he is, the grave of Hal Roach. While in Elmira, I have one other place to visit here connected to Mark Twain, and I'm going to go see it. But as you can see, it is pouring down rain. Waiting for a break in the rain. There is Mark Twain's study. So, I shouldn't be surprised, but I just left Elmira about 15 minutes ago, and the rain has now stopped, and the skies, at least going this direction, have cleared. So, I don't know. Go figure. Good grief. Alrighty, made a stop here in Corning, New York, to visit the Corning Museum of Glass. I have to say I was very impressed. You wouldn't think necessarily glass would be that fascinating, but this museum examines all the aspects of glass making. It's worth your time and visit if you're in the area. Look at the windmills up in the air. Look at the windmills, not turning anything right now. Alright, right, for our final stop of the day, we've come to Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York. Our first grave we are visiting here at Mount Hope Cemetery is that of the great abolitionist, speaker, and writer Frederick Douglass. He's buried on one side of him is his first wife and daughter, and the other side is his second wife. And here is the gravesite of the suffragist Susan B. Anthony. All right, so that was our final stop for the day on this kind of rushed famous grave / cemetery tour in New York. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for further content. Ring that bell for email notifications. And if there's some place that you would like to see me visit, leave a comment in the comment section. And if you've enjoyed this adventure or any of the adventures in TV Land, you can help support this channel by going to either Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon, or even here on YouTube, making a donation or becoming a member. You could also hit the super like button down below too. Thank you for watching. Until next time, that's a wrap.